Yes, you heard that right. I failed 3 UPSC mains and 1 interview. But those are not the only exams I failed in life. There were many more. Hello, I'm Khushbu Lamichane. I'm from this small place in Sikkim, Gangtok. I've been born and brought up here. Let me start my journey from my school. So I was a student who was good in studies, and I used to take part in a lot of different things. My friends used to tease me that there's not even a single event that I leave. I was fortunate enough to do a lot of things actually. I used to act in Nepali movies as a child actor when I was very young. After that, I even got a chance to do a theatre workshop from National School of Drama. I used to write poems. I used to um, even got a chance to go to nationals from my school, IPSC conference. And there I went for debating and then choreography. I was pretty good in dancing and everything also. So apart from that, after class 10th, when I was in class 11, I went to Kota, Rajasthan. And that was like a big blow to me. I had never seen such competition in my life in terms of academics. Like I had gone for IIT JEE coaching in Bansal classes. So when I went there, I saw everyone studying so much, it like so much competition. I didn't even feel good about my distinction in class 10th because everyone around was the same. I had this feeling of like maybe internally I was a little competitive person. Maybe I didn't realize it until I went there. Even though my batches were increasing, what happened in Bansal classes was that every month we used to have exams, and then according to that exam we used to have batches allotted to us according to our rank. So my batches were improving, but when I like after a year, after 1 year and 2-3 months, I realized that it was so high level and the competition was so much. I started feeling so drained out. I started feeling like maybe I'll not be able to focus on my board exams, because I mean those like entrance exams preparation is so high level that I started feeling scared about AIEEE and my state CET and other things apart from that particular thing. And then, like everyone in Kota who goes for all these coaching, they used to take admission elsewhere. So I had done the same. I came back home, I studied on my own, gave my class 12. And then, of course, I failed IIT JEE and I never tried again because I felt internally I was not very serious for it also. And then I gave my state exam, state CET entrance. From there, like I had given for 2 things, okay? I had given for engineering and then medicals, because I had bio also in class 12, maths and bio both. So in engineering, I got a college in Nagpur, government college in Nagpur, and from medicals, I got a very good rank in medicals, but the counseling was supposed to happen quite late because the medical counselings used to happen quite late back then. So, but I didn't want to do medicals. My parents really forced me to go on with medicals, but I was like, no, I want to do engineering. I went to Nagpur with my entire family, and then going from Sikkim back then, we never had direct flight to Bombay also. We had to go to Bagdogra, to Calcutta and Bombay and then Nagpur. So I did all that, okay? But when I went there, I didn't like the school. I mean, I didn't like the college at all. Like, it was a government college, but it was a very good college, but it's just that my imagination of college was extremely different than what was there. And then my father was still filling my forms for AIEEE. AIEEE. So, through AIEEE, I got into Amity University, Noida. People used to say so many things about Amity back then. But now when I look back, I feel like those were the best days I ever had, because I was not just a student who was good in studies. I was a lot of other things. I wanted, maybe my internal self wanted that kind of exposure that we get in Delhi, and particularly Amity University. So I studied there. I took civil engineering, BTech civil engineering. A lot of lovely friends, but of course, like all guys, because us in civil engineering, very few girls. That too, not in my class and other classes. And those were like friends were extremely good, and we also were involved in a literary club. I even represented my school in this thing, swimming, I was in the choreography club. So I did a lot of different things in college, met a lot of different kinds of people, from so many other places in the country. The kind of exposure that I actually got in Amity, it was so fulfilling. Like maybe that time I was a little confused about a lot of things, But then right now when I look back, it was a multitude of things that I got through that college. And after college, I came back home for like 2 3 months. I was handling my mom's business for a while. And then that time I started feeling that no, like this is not what I want, because I cannot stay without doing anything in life. Like, business was something I really wanted. I mean, back then I didn't want, because I come from a family where my grandfather was a police officer, my father, my uncles, everyone I've seen around in government good positions. So I always felt like I was a person who would want to join the government. That was the reason I took civil engineering in the first place, because in India, like if you take civil engineering, then options are like quite less, and most people want to go towards like government jobs, or maybe your own business if you have a real estate business. So uh, after college, like there were two options for me. I mean, extreme options, but within 1 week, there were, like, in both the places that I wanted to go, this admission was in the same place. Okay, I wanted to go to Pune for a film institute, or I would want to go to Delhi to in a coaching center where I wanted to study for a while. And then I took a decision to go to UPSC. In that 1 week, I took the decision, and I started preparing and everything. And over the course of time, like I gave 3 mains, 1 interview, and a lot of prelims. What I realized is, like, even though right now I'm in a job, I am an assistant engineer in the state government's engineering services. It's been 6 years now, but then I never stopped giving UPSC also, because when I got this job in the state, since then I started clearing UPSC prelims or mains or this and that, but I never stopped my preparations. And right now, what I feel after so many years of preparations, and so many times when I wanted to come off preparations and then like coming back to it, and there was a lot of push and pull, like sometimes for a month or two, like it was just difficult, because when you prepare for a very long time, it's very difficult, because then you start seeing things, like you already have a job also, and then you start seeing things in a very different light. So even after all those times, like I was very disheartened when I didn't get to interview, because I didn't get to interview with just 6 marks, which was quite disheartening. And then after that, I was not getting through prelims only for 2 times, because it was CSAT and everything. And recently, last year, I gave mains again. I could not clear it because I was not prepared. There's so many other things like job and everything. But now when I look back, what I feel is, what I was not doing is I was not enjoying life. I was just like in a very societal mindset where, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to, everything. I was not doing what I really am. I was not being my own self. And that is one difference I feel, like after all these preparations, after feeling so much, one thing I really learned a lot is to have patience in life. Like so much patience. Even now, I'm still studying for the exam, and it's fine. But I realized that I can juggle a lot of things. That was what I was made for. I was always made for like a lot of things, and a person cannot be fitted into a box, and especially at this time, like 2025, you cannot put a box to a person that, oh, you are a person who studies, so you just have to study. You are a person who does this, you just have to do this. No, I was always a different person. But maybe in early life, during my preparations, I was not accepting myself the way I am. I was not accepting that I am a person who, thrives in a place where I am like doing a lot of different things. And during those times, even my studies go good. So what I learned through a lot of failures in life is, number one, patience. I never knew I was a person with so much patience in life. Like I always thought about myself that I was an impulsive person, but now I realize that, oh my God, I've been so much patient to myself. And That's like, when you look back, you realize that all those things happened to you because you had to become the person you are right now. Number two, I also learned about perseverance. Okay, perseverance is something which is not just like, work hard or something. It's more of like, it comes from within. It's like even during the dark times, you just keep going, keep going. I think I still have that in me, and I have that in me, in fact, better than what it was before. And it has been amazing. It has been amazing to learn how to be patient, how to have some perseverance in me, have some wisdom also about life, because when you're in your early 20s and everything, you have everything. You have a lot of josh, that we call, you have a lot of determination, but then what we lack is the wisdom how to do it, or what we lack is, like, if it is coming from the heart or not. We're so much surrounded by the competition, the competitive feeling. You forget your own journey, you forget your own soul journey, you forget your own lessons, you forget everything. You're so engrossed in one thing. And of course, like, I got rid of a lot of negative, like, thinkings, negative people, a lot of friends also in the journey. But I think that was for good, because every time you upgrade in life, I mean, you lose a lot of things, and what better than losing, like, negative thinkings, negative talks, negative self talks, negative people. I think that's the best you can do in life. And also, I realize now that I was always a person who wanted to be better in life, to do a multiple of things, but I was just putting myself in a box, and like, that was not working for me, because I needed to come out. I needed to, like, do various things. Like, I needed to firstly know my own self, because during this journey I came, like, closer to God. I think I'm very thankful to UPSC for that that I came closer to God, learned so much about spirituality, of your soul, like my own healing. And I started thinking about what my soul really is, what my soul really wants. And I realized that I love studying. I mean, that's something which I will always do in my life. So now what I'm doing is, I'm not doing according to, the timeline of everybody. I'm just doing according to my own timeline. I'm doing other things as well, which makes me feel good. And sometimes, isolation is not that bad. It's like a blessing in disguise. When you're isolated for such a long time, you realize so much about yourself, what you truly want. And then you know that you were always that fighter person. Of course, like, in your 20s, you stop, like, you get so confused by the world, so you stop thinking about what you truly are. So what I truly am is, I'm a person who is a fighter, who wants to do different things, who wants to try different things, who wants to, learn different things. Like, uh, every day I'm learning something or the other. And that's one thing I learned from spirituality also. You do, like, you have a vision in life, but what you do is, you just, like, one day at a time. Sometimes you have to be kind to yourself, and sometimes you have to be strict with yourself. You have to let go of all the bullshit that is there, in yourself, the negative thoughts, the negative talks, the negative people. And over all these journeys, I met a lot of different people also, who in fact taught me in their own different ways, and who in fact got me closer to my own self. And I'm really thankful to all the people, even though it was good or bad experiences. So I'm really thankful for all that. And now I don't feel bad about, like, failures, because I know somehow or the other I have so much potential in me that I will do something good in life, or I will at least be able to make my soul happy in whatever terms. My soul is the best thing that I've, felt in the entire journey of my life until now. Thanks to UPSC, thanks to all the failures, thanks to all the different friends. And this video is like, me trying to own my story as well, because it took me a very long time of healing, of my own, uh, practices. I started meditating 2 years ago, and I started, realizing what I am actually thinking. I started realizing my own negative self-talks. I started realizing a lot of different things about my own self, which needed change. So to come here and talk to you in front of, like, a social platform took a lot of time, but I'm so thankful for everything that happened. And Yeah, this is me, I think, owning my own story. And I feel like everyone has so much potential in life. It's just that we sometimes, get so confused and we think about what others might think or all these things. And I feel like you should never stop what you really want. Some people used to tell me long back then when I started preparing, like, and then I was giving exams and not getting through and all, oh, leave the studies and this and that. But now I feel like, no, it was like, that is actually what I am. But it's just that I was doing in a wrong way, or maybe I was doing in a wrong kind of setup for me. Because what works for me is doing multiple things. What works for me is like meeting friend, learning from them. I want to, it's like when you're meant to be at a different pace, then other people's pace should not matter to you. And I have like literally no regrets in that. To be honest, I'm really grateful for everything. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you so much for watching.